This is Hot Mike. Hot Mike. On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 of Hot Mike, ready to rock and roll. Much more on the Twins City Connect jerseys. The emails are fast and furious on that. We'll read some of them coming up later on in the show. Plus, more on a busy recruiting weekend, both for the Bison and for the Jackrabbits. We'll do that in about a half hour's time. We were chatting some golf with Jeff before we wrapped up our first hour. Yesterday, over at Fargo Country Club, some of the best young players in the state had a chance to play, I think, the best course in the state for the Russ Newman Invitational, which has been the genesis of our next guest and many others, how this has come about over the last couple of years. It's our pleasure to welcome back Chris Geiss to our show from the North Dakota Junior Golf Association, the director of that. The last time we talked, and I apologize, you're going to be mad at me about this, was 4 years ago. We're in the midst of COVID and nothing's happening. You created a golf tournament that year, which was great because it ended up being the best from Class A and Class B, and eventually it hatched into this idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, I laugh because this morning I've been getting a lot of texts saying that I finally arrived, that I'm on your show. I'm like, no. We did this a long time ago, and we share a lot of texts, so that's awesome. Back then I was just a dad who ran a business and didn't really have this position, and we made it happen, and that's kind of what led into this position. And it's and our goal the whole time has been to grow the game and give more chances to these kids. And so Dave Schultz, who's obviously a big friend of the junior golf program, and Boomer Newman and Nick Lackaduck over there at the country club, we had this vision, and they, like I told the story yesterday, we had talked in March 3 years ago, and they had thought, well, maybe 15 months from now, something could happen. Well, I like to run it a little quicker, and we did it right away that year. And as I told you off the air, if I had to look at where we are with that after 3 years, it looks like we're in year 10 already. I mean, it's seamless. Things go smooth. The banquet is super well attended right now. That's become a great way to kick off the morning and recognize Mr. and Miss Golf, DJGA Cup members, just a lot of cool things. So we're excited about where that's gone, and we're excited about a lot of things we have going on.
I want to go back to that time 4 years ago, like where you just, I know when we talked, you just wanted to give the golfers, the high schoolers especially, a chance to play because the year got wiped out. When did things start to steamroll for you to say, I like this, I want to be involved more?
People don't like to hear so much about me, but I'll go fast. My son was big into golf from the time he was little. We live in a small town. Putting together a baseball team wasn't something that was going to happen, and he really enjoyed the golf, and he played some basketball. So I started a small town tour out here in the evenings through Hettinger, Bowman, Southart, Kildare, Beulah, all the small towns. I really enjoyed it. I was the president of our local golf club. I took care of things there. Just all kinds of things like that. I was always involved. I, spent 15 years coaching high school basketball at different capacities, including head coaching, and was always an organizational thing. My family owned a small business or grocery store here in Glen Ellen. I ran that because I wanted my kids to grow up here, and always had my hand. And, friends at the North Dakota Golf came to me a few times and asked if I had some interest. And my deal was always like, and me, if I'm in, I'm in. So doing it on the side. And it's, today's funny because today's the first day I've been home in about 11 days. And you messaged me last night about getting on. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be doing some laundry so we can catch up and stuff like that. So that's it. And I love it. I mean, the 75 days of summer for me, people laugh. They're like, where are you today? Or what's the next thing? We should probably put a honing device on our vehicle. They could follow us, but we've got something everywhere, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I think a lot of families, when Garrett was growing up, we, just like so many, Gabe Benson, the Bensons, those names that you dropped today, we traveled so much. It was 7 hours to get to a good tournament for him to play, and that was close. It was 13 hours to get to a nice multi-day tournament. And that was when I took over Dakota Junior as this position. Hey, we're bringing that here. And you look at what we started. I said yesterday, I joked, I said, we're like NASCAR. We have our big event at the start of the year, and then we, instead of a Super Bowl. So we kicked it off the right way yesterday. But now you look at our schedule, Dom, and there's so many big events. And they just keep popping up. Multi-day, 36 hole, chance to compete. Minnesota kids are starting to come our way, which is really cool. I mean, that really says where we're headed. We pick up a lot of Montana and South Dakota kids out here in the West. And I can tell you this, as of right now, we've already surpassed last year's total number of registrations for our summer
Wow.
events, which is fantastic.
I look too, Chris, at the schedule. I mean, obviously you had this past weekend here, but you're going all over. You're Mandan, Carrington, you're over at Watford City, Kings Walk, you're Edgewood, you're everywhere. I mean, when this got going now, and you look at this schedule, like, okay, we're encompassing everywhere where you wanted to go.
Yeah, I think I was, so many of the guys in the East were always having to chase to Minnesota for events. So many of our guys over here were having to chase all the way to the cities or down to Rapid City or whatever. We have so many good players, and you're seeing that with the people that are being nominated for the awards or going on to college. Let's just get them competing head to head. So that's what we did. First in place was obviously hire good people. I mean, first thing I did was I've got a staff of about 14 tournament people now. They're all high school coaches, Class A and Class B, both sides of the state, guys that are as passionate about it as I am and want to make it happen. They see the vision of, hey, the more events their kids can have in their backyard for $15 on the 9-holers, for $30 on the 18-hole events, they get cool prizes. That's going to keep kids playing all year long. And that was the big thing is, I could be in Watford City with my West staff. In fact, there's going to be days this year I'm in Bismarck preparing for an NDGA event on the adult side. I'll have a staff in one area. I'll have a staff in another. And it's going to be fantastic. And I think we're going to be years away from where we have 3 events in a day. And that's the more the better. Keep these kids close to home playing good golf. Keep it cost effective for the parents and get them on the best golf courses we can.
Give me the genesis of the idea for the tournament yesterday. You just wrapped up your 3rd year to get the top 20 in boys and girls A, boys and girls B to come and play. And what was the turnout yesterday for the event?
66 out of 80 yesterday,
wow.
Which, when you look at the turnaround, and you'll enjoy this, but so our staff was up at Grand Forks for the Class A boys on Wednesday. And as kids came off number 18, our staff was figuring who's top 20, who's not. And they run them a golden ticket, we call it, because it's a pass to get into the event.
Yeah.
So I'm in Carrington dealing with all kinds of stuff, running the Class B for the High School Activity Association. And my email starts to populate with all these kids already accepting the final group hadn't holed out at the Class A, and kids are accepting their invitation. Another great story. We were sitting at dinner on Wednesday night after day 1 of the Class B. And there was a team sitting beside us, and one kid, he's like, I'm in 23rd. My goal for tomorrow is to make the top 20 because I want to play Fargo Country Club. And it was the same thing all fall. So to get 66 out of 80, when we talked to Boomer and Nick and Dave the first time, where do you draw the line? Who gets to come? That was just a natural fit, right? 80 is a great number to make a tournament happen. We've been over 60 every year, which tells you, as you know, planning with kids and summer stuff.
No doubt.
To get 66 of them, that's already on their schedule before the season, hoping that they're a part of it. And that's a testament to the guys over at FCC and everything that goes on.
Well, to hear, too, they were that driven to want to finish in the top 20, that's got to make you feel pretty good.
It doesn't. I mean, we had a kid in Carrington who was pacing because he had came in about the 6th or 7th group, and he was pacing, and he knew, okay, I'm 25th. Okay, now there's a double bogey. I'm 23rd. I mean, he was a wreck, and he did sneak in and see him, run to his dad when he got his golden ticket. That was awesome, and that's why we're doing this, man. We're trying to see those families smile and enjoy it as much as anybody.
How did Mr. and Miss Golf come about? That's not an award that's that old. Where was the genesis of that?
Frustration.
Yeah.
I look at every other sport, and, again, being a part of basketball for my life and other sports, and we've always been taking the time to put that on a kid's resume as he prepares for college or as he prepares for something else. We as a DJGA board decided that Mr. and Miss Golf needed to happen, and we wanted something that was going to also add in their summer events, so more of a reason for kids to participate in our events. So that's how it came about. We started it 3 years ago. We've got a crew of 7 that vote on it. Some are in the media, some are coaches, Class A and Class B. Some are PGA professionals across the state of North Dakota. Coaches have to nominate a player. That it's not media driven. It's not skewed by anything. The coaches have to nominate a player. Once they get on the nomination list, we start to vote and start preliminary and pare it down and go from there. Funny is, you've created something good when there starts to be buzz about maybe who was or wasn't nominated and who maybe missed out on something. It's special. I mean, and we had some talk yesterday, and one of the parents, and I'll just use his name because we're good friends, but Brian Palmer, Max's dad, he came up afterwards and he goes, Max didn't win, but he goes, what an honor to be nominated with such great players. He said, and I'll take not winning as opposed to not having this award.
Wow.
So
there you go.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That is really neat. I'm interested now. What's next? I know you're always looking ahead. So what's on the what do you say? Okay, we've done this. I really like to have blank happen.
I'm in my office now, and there's some whiteboards I could show you, but we can't get to that. I joke about what my office looks like down here because it's a disaster because there's Post-it notes everywhere. But anyway, Wednesday's the day of golf. The governor signed off on the North Dakota Day of Golf.
Yep.
So June 12th, every year going forward, we're going to work with every golf course in North Dakota to do something cool. Start a kids camp, do something free, give people a chance, just something to grow the game. Golf's never been in this good a spot. And this is not because of me. It started in COVID year. And this is, Tim Doppler at NDGA, he's had some visions for the last 10 years. I'm his assistant on that end of it. And we just roll. We've got a great relationship, and we just roll going forward on the next thing. So the Day of Golf is going to become a big thing year after year after year. Super excited to have that. That took us about 18 months to get that passed, to get that across. The DJGA Cup is July 8th. That's a Ryder Cup style. We announced those teams yesterday. Team Red River with Jake Scarperud versus Team Missouri River with Garrick as the captain. We picked six girls and 6 boys for each one of those teams. It was like a fantasy draft. It was, well, this one, that one, and how about this, that? Just more chances to, give some notoriety to these kids that they do.
Yep.
Basketball is obviously the thing, right? And they've nailed it with the Lions All-Star Game and with Mr. Basketball and all these things that for so many years we've talked about. We're just trying to get golf on that same playing field and level field, and I think we're getting there.
You feel like it's out there now that people have talked about enough, and you certainly, I think on the west side of the state, it's there that you've got a good foothold on it, what you accomplished, that you've got people talking about the game that want to be interested in what you're doing?
Yeah, and especially new people. I know we're Dakota Junior Golf, but one of the other things that we're really trying to push on, Don, is the young families where, the husband was a All-American football player who's never touched a club, and they've got kids now, or the wife was a volleyball player in college, and hey, all of our friends have started to pick up golf casually or socially. We're starting to get a lot of lessons for those people. Young Tice Halter's our director of instruction. He works with Tim. We've also got we have 36 people who help teach in Bismarck Mandan right now, and it's not just little people we're teaching. They're bringing in young families. They're bringing in ladies' night. They're bringing in a group of 8 guys who've never touched the club and are afraid of what the next thing is to do. Excuse me. And then educating people about the golf course, right? We've got some really cool things. If you're a Youth on Course member, which costs $25, you can access a lot of golf courses in North Dakota for just $5 if you're a kid. In Bismarck Mandan all summer long, then range balls are $2. So if you want to get out and bang balls forever, you can get good pretty fast with things like that. So there's always something burning. I know I share text with you and we laugh about some of the stuff, but we've got some big things for 2025, 2026, and we're even going to host some tournaments that aren't in North Dakota going forward, which are going to be really cool opportunities for people.
Last question. When is the actual last time you played golf? When have you been able to go and do that?
I'll give you the truth. I played probably too much golf in my 30s, where I would 36 holes a day. And
there you go.
As Garrett, I did have a stroke in my 30s, which caused a little problem for about a year and a half, but I still was able to play a lot of golf. And what happened when Garrett got to be like 7 or 8, when we'd go out to the golf course, I realized that after a long day at work, I just enjoyed being around it as much as anything. I played twice last summer, which my people are like, wait, you're telling everybody they need to play golf and you played twice. But again, I enjoy the running the events. I enjoy riding around in the golf cart on Men's Day, hitting some wedges, laughing at how bad I've become at it, but don't care because I just enjoy it. I'll go out and hit a few range balls here and there and try some stuff. But, I think the great thing about golf is, the game is fantastic, but the relationships are something else, be it business or friendship, things that have come about it. And I tell my board, you better hope I don't fall in love with playing again because I won't be very good at what I do. So,
well, we need people to be organized and run the stuff, man. We need people like you, and that I appreciate that. So
I'll carry that flag. I'll be happy to be that guy, Dom.
I promise we will not go 4 years again before having you back on the show, okay?
Hey, love it. Let's get together. Let's talk.
Thanks for the time, Buck. Congratulations, and have a great summer, all right?
All right, you too. Thanks for everything you do, Dom.
Chris Geiss from the North Dakota Junior Golf Association, executive director there, after the third annual Russ Newman Invitational getting played yesterday at Fargo Country Club, and Mr. and Miss Golf being announced as well. Stuff that just never happened before. Now it's taking place, and you saw a little bit of the video. We were out there yesterday with 66 of the top 80 finishers in high school golf getting the chance to play the best golf course in the state, in my opinion. That's pretty cool. We'll break. We come back. The big sports talker of the weekend. We'll rip the Band-Aid off of that on Caitlin Clark not being named to Team USA. We got your emails on that and a bunch more as Hot Mike rolls on this Monday morning. We're back after this.